Was Michael Myers truly in Halloween H20? Was he a ghost? Or was he just paranoid visions of trauma that Laurie Strode couldn't escape? I think these are all important questions to ask ourselves here because for me, Halloween H20 feels very disjointed from the other Halloween movies in the series. Other than obviously Season of the Witch. But looking back on it, you can see really the tie-ins to the original all the way up to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. At 7 in Halloween H20, I always feel like it wasn't really a Halloween movie. Halloween H20 itself feels disjointed because it does feel like the opening of the film where Michael is stalking Marion there in her house. And I know that is, more in Illinois versus California. So we do have some of the ties to Haddonfield there. But besides that, that opening really feels like a Halloween movie, right? We get classic stalking scenes, we get kills. I mean, we even have the Halloween 6 mask. The rest of the movie feels different. It feels obviously like a Scream movie, and I know that was big at the time. They brought in Kevin Williamson to write the script and give it that more Scream feeling overall. But maybe it's different from the other ones on purpose. And maybe I was thinking there's two ways to go with this. But the overall theme is Michael is not actually there in the flesh. Now, you have one way of Michael being a ghost. Maybe he's an apparition. And I know what you're saying, like, well, why has Laurie just seen him now 20 years later? Maybe she's seen him the whole time, but now he's like powerful. After 20 years, he's able to kill people as a ghost and do things as a ghost. And it kind of takes Halloween in a unique, different place than just a straight up slasher movie. If you think about it, it honestly would become more of a paranormal movie at this point. And it would be different. I don't know if I really like this idea of Michael being a ghost, because he is seen by different people, obviously, in this movie. But, I mean, maybe he is just so powerful now as a ghost that he's being seen as an apparition, so other people can see him and he can do things and kill people. And it also would make sense, too, because if you think about it, this is supposed to be the sequel to Halloween 2, where she has survived the fire, but maybe Michael didn't survive the fire. Maybe Michael did die. And I think that would lean some credibility to why he is a ghost and coming at her from a different way. There's also the idea that Michael is what I would say are visions, right? And it's like trauma stored throughout time, and Laurie's seeing all that trauma play out in her mind. This would be an interesting way to go, I think, because the David Gordon Green trilogy of Halloween 2018, Kills and Ends, really focused on trauma and how generational trauma affects families and things like that. Well, what happens if this was literal trauma? Michael Myers is literal trauma. It's in her mind, but it becomes this real vision that she has. It almost becomes like a Fight Club situation where, like, Laurie starts kind of playing out the visions of Michael Myers. Maybe she's just, nothing's worked, right? She's an alcoholic in this. She's taking pills. She's trying to forget about Michael Myers. And now it's at the point where it's like totally engrossed her whole life. She's now succumbing to these visions. And I think it would be cool to play with this concept. Like, Laurie's seeing Michael, but it's not Michael, it's her. And what happens if she was the one putting on a mask or killing these people in Halloween H20? I think this works too because it would give credence to why there's so many different masks too. Maybe this is Laurie's just screwed up vision, like, because things aren't perfect when, you know, you're mentally unfit and you're seeing things. So maybe that's why there are different versions of the mask. That would lend credibility to that, because that's always been a big issue to me is, there's so many masks in Halloween H20. But this would explain it. Also, this would be like a big reveal at the end, because she does end up, we find out, killing a cop who Michael Myers put under his mask and crushed his larynx, and she thought it was Michael, and she chops his head off. Well, what happens if she really did do that, and we get that ending, but then it's revealed, like, maybe at the end of the movie, she is in Smith's Grove, and it's revealed that she did kill, like, everybody. And it was her going around on this rampage in her school and trying to kill her own son, which would be a very big tie-in to the original Halloween of Michael killing his sister, right, Judith, at the beginning, and then trying to kill his other sister. So it's very much like generational trauma in your face, where it's giving you the idea that, like, hey, trauma affects everybody, and now it's affected Laurie so much after 20 years that she is become a killer herself, thinking she is Michael Myers. Or, like I said, like seeing visions of Michael and believing he's out there, like, oh my God, Michael Myers is back, blah, blah, blah. But it's not, it's her. And that would be a cool tie-in, like, if you've ever seen the movie High Tension, and not to spoil, but there could be very big similarities with how we see things. And then the reveal at the end that, oh my goodness, it was Laurie Strode all along. That would play out, I think, really cool. I think the question you have to ask yourself then is, where would they go from there? I think they could have had a really good storyline to go into Halloween Resurrection, because if they gave us the reveal at the end that Laurie was the one who had killed her boyfriend, killed the cop, and was Michael Myers, or pretending to be Michael Myers because she was, mentally thinking she was. So we get this big reveal at the end. Oh my God, she's the one who was Michael Myers, and she did kill these people, and she's in Smith's Grove. I think that would lend, like, a cool idea to Halloween Resurrection. Like, you can go from there, and you can take it to, like, maybe she accepts she's a killer now, and the darkness is, like, taking over her, and she has to go after John, and she becomes a new killer. Maybe you do introduce, like, Michael isn't dead, and he's alive, and now they're both killers. That would be interesting as well. But I think there would be so many different avenues to go, and you could stretch this series out more from this point of Laurie being the killer. Like, that, I think that would be a cool concept to play with. But what do you think? Do you think Michael was truly there in Halloween H20? Maybe this is just one of those things that the audience is supposed to look deeper into the themes, and maybe he wasn't there. Or do you like my ideas for maybe we could take this concept to Halloween Resurrection? Laurie could be the new killer. Or do you think that it's perfect the way it is? Because I know there are a lot of Halloween H20 fans, and that's awesome. But for me, I think it would be cool to kind of play in the sandbox a little bit more with Halloween, because they haven't done it too much, and the swings they've taken haven't necessarily worked out. So it would be interesting to see them go in maybe a paranormal or visions route with Michael Myers. But Let me know what you think in the comments. This has been Always Halloween.